Good job.
Hit it.
Did it.
He was telling me to sit down, I guess.
Yes, I am.
I get the hint.
Okay, good morning, everybody, and those online. This is going to be this is a short meeting, probably, I would hope, with just two contracts to take a look at. It is a special meeting. I call the meeting to order. We'll go right into the issue, discussion, consideration, possible vote on two contracts. Delaware Department of Transportation totaling $457,522.18 for the construction of pedestrian safety enhancements on Delaware Route 26. I would think we would deal with both of them separately. So I'm going to suggest we go with the Kent Avenue crossings first. And Cliff, do you want to kind of describe those?
The meeting with the pledge of allegiance and everything.
Over the years, we've had interest from both citizens and council members regarding safety issues at Garfield Parkway Extended, specifically on the east side of Kent as you go north, crossing Garfield and then wanting to cross 26. There has not been a real sidewalk, a real exchange, if you will, a pathway, safe pathway that will allow you to go from Garfield Extended to 26 and then cross 26 safely. This contract you have before you takes care of that, creates a safe environment that's ADA compliant, redoes the other surfaces for the piano keys in other directions, and takes care of truncated domes and sidewalk issues for the intersection. This is a contract with DelDOT. DelDOT accepts bids from different contractors, awards to one or two contractors in state their work based on their bid package. This is going to a DelDOT subcontractor, and this is our contract represents our obligation to reimburse DelDOT for the cost of the project. The cost of that project is $183,464.60. So, Mayor, if you'd like to move that forward, a motion and some consideration.
Okay, do we have a motion to proceed with discussion of that?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, discussion. Do we have any questions?
So Cliff, just to be clear, as you described it, if I were walking up Kent toward 26, right now we sort of run out of space, particularly when we get to the intersection. I mean, literally the footpath that's there on the
East side of
on the east
Kent.
side, you know,
Right.
as you're where our museum is on that. Then when you cross over that, you basically run out of.
You're on a grassy island.
You are competing with cars and everything else. It just literally runs out of space. So
Yeah, you either walk in the grass or
Right.
you walk into the turn lane.
right,
Right.
Yeah.
right,
So people have been walking right in the street as opposed to
right.
walking
So
in the
this
grass.
provides a alternative for
Yes.
that. That's the key. I just wanted to.
Yep.
Right. Thank you, because that's come up a number of times
Yeah.
in our the committee that Teresa and I lead, and that's great. Thank you.
Now,
Actually, it's been a lot of feedback even from community groups that we've ended up talking to that utilize that. So thank you.
Yeah, and I walk that way all the time. It makes me crazy.
Yep.
That is tough.
but it still doesn't address out on Kent. If you're walking down Kent toward the intersection with 26, and then you come, there's two lanes as you approach. So there's really no place for pedestrians except on the grass. Is that correct?
That's right. Or the turn lane,
Yeah.
or the right turn lane to
Right.
go east on 26.
Okay.
And this will also put a crosswalk across the Garfield Extended.
The extension, yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
Cliff, can you just remind me or confirm for me that we're fully budgeted for this? We have the money, this is within
Yes,
budget?
both of these, the total dollar here listed on the agenda, the $457,522.18 is currently in this year's budget.
Thank you.
And what's the timeline?
for this? I mean, would it be
The
before the season?
timeline would be off-season,
Okay.
prior to the beginning of our next summer season.
Okay,
I have one more comment.
sure.
And just so, so everyone who's here is clear, we're not running the project. We don't control the timeline.
We have no
Correct,
control of the
right.
timeline. DelDOT uses their vendors that they're comfortable with and their safety inspectors, and they administer it totally.
Do they even tell us when they're coming, or do we,
Oh, you s-
I mean,
oh,
because I
I
know they
can't,
haven't
no, I
always
can't
done
say
that.
that, really. So I think we've had some issues out on Kent Avenue with some projects.
That was my
that
understanding, yeah.
They just simply were there.
Okay.
And they do the construction management portion
Yes, all
of
of
this,
it.
so there is no cost for us in that portion of it either.
No, what's contained in the estimate is the cost of the project.
Okay. I think, just to.
And management is there.
Okay.
And Cliff, this is all in their they've approved all this, right?
Yes, yes.
So that we don't have to worry about this flagging problem that we have crossing
This is their project.
their project.
This is their project.
Terrific.
Cliff, one other comment, just for clarity, because some people might ask, or I've been asked, who's paying for this, and why isn't DelDOT pay for it? Because it's a DelDOT road, right? And conceptually, if we waited long enough and they put it in their plan and worked through the priorities, it might eventually get done by DelDOT. But the reality is, we don't want to wait for that time. That's why we're basically funding it, because of our, we want to move forward from a safety perspective.
Yeah, it's a safety concern.
Yeah.
So it's in our municipality. We see the need.
Right.
I don't think that even if you ask them to put it in queue, this intersection most especially, I don't know that it would
Okay.
even go in queue.
Okay.
I think some of these enhancements, DelDOT has so much to be responsible for. I don't even know if they would take something like this and tell you 4 years, 5 years, 6 years.
Right.
I mean, that's our experience. The next thing we'll discuss is these medians, these median refuges. Our interest in that began several years ago when one of the businesses wanted to put a stoplight at Treetop Lane. They went directly to DelDOT, one of the businesses in that area, went directly to DelDOT. DelDOT came back and said, in no way do you meet any criteria to do anything at this intersection, especially a stoplight, that we would consider you maybe a refuge island and a beacon as an alternative, because that was right about the same time we did our first beacon on Route 1. But only if the municipality has an interest in paying for that. It's nothing we're going to do, because based on our data and their data, as you know from your committee,
Yep.
is so often accident-driven and injury-driven, and that just doesn't exist on Route 26.
Yeah.
Until 2
DelDOT
weeks.
has
Thank you.
Until 2 weeks ago,
incredible amount
yes.
on their plate. I mean, have you seen the latest letter or latest study they're doing now of, mainly up north of here, but it's on roads coming to the beaches, 24,
Oh, yeah.
9, 16.
Mhm.
They're looking at all of
Right,
them.
I mean, the only reason really I asked Cliff, because there's a couple of people I've talked to that have been talking it through, just citizens, and said, well, why doesn't DelDOT pay for this? This is their road, right? And I explained sort of the same rationale you just shared, so thank you.
Sure.
I think it's important, and you covered it, Cliff, is that this is still a competitive situation. We're not doing the competitive part of it. DelDOT is doing the competitive part of it. So it is, it's not just handing a contract over to somebody.
There were two of their vendors, their approved subcontractors bid, and the low bid is who they awarded the project to, so.
Okay. Any other questions? Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Cliff, I'll turn it to you to address the one out at Treetop.
Mayor, Council, we've had some discussion in the past, and I recently sent you all a memo describing why we are here today looking at two of these islands rather than one. Long story short, initially, again, going back to the request for a stoplight, DelDOT came in, did a look, did their own, collected their own amount of information, pedestrian crossing, so on and so forth, and came back to the town and the complaining business owner about the intersection at Treetop and said, we're not going to do any sort of a real enhancement at this intersection. We would consider, however, doing an island and a beacon, and they located that island and the flashing beacon a little east of Treetop Lane. There were issues with property owners. One property owner needed to give up 3 feet of an existing parking space, taking a full-size space to a compact space. They wanted to have negotiations with the town to determine some fair market value and create some sort of a long-term lease for the 3 feet that they were going to lose in the parking space. Another property owner slash business person mistakenly misrepresented, actually, the fact that they would lose 4 parking spaces if they cooperated with the project, which in fact wasn't the case. There would be no loss of parking at all. And we went back and forth with that kind of opposition for a good long time before we determined that the beacon was not going to be practical simply because of where we needed to put the electrical box to create the beacon for that particular intersection. And went back to the engineer and said, if we scrap this and we wanted to do the best thing we could do in this area where we have a lot of pedestrian crossing, and you took a look at it from a forest perspective, if you will, and not the tree perspective of that one particular area at Treetop, what would you recommend? And they came back and with what you have in front of you with these recommendation for these 2 islands. These islands are designed with DelDOT's mandates in place by traffic safety engineers. It's been pointed out, a little discussion this morning, that there is some minor inconvenience that in 2 different instances here, you would have to, if you wanted to go out of the one particular entrance close to the median, you would have to drive to the east. But you would also note in both instances, there's another outlet from that parking area that would allow you to go out on 26 and go both directions. So when they design the islands, they try to limit the number of things that pedestrians are looking at, the number of cars, the number of lanes involved. So in doing this, they cut back worrying the pedestrian having to worry about a car going west, if you will, or east, and just limit it to you looking at one particular lane of traffic and worrying about cars in that lane. So that's one consideration. There are no beacons on this. This is just the islands. And one of the things the engineers have told us about this, that these islands are located closely enough that it will create a traffic calming effect in this particular area, give it more of the look of a more finished roadway in a more urban area than what we have there today. And that's one of the recommendations for the 2 islands. The location for the islands are based on pedestrian counts that we've established with a number of traffic studies over the years. The cost for this project is $274,057.58.
Okay, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, discussion?
Yeah, Cliff, I talked to Cliff a little bit in the past and this morning about the potential of not being able to make left-hand turns out of some of these parking places or these lots. And it appears that there's an out for everyone except one. And I guess I'm concerned a little bit about the exit from off the hook making a left-hand turn. You can't because of the island. You would have to go up and past the area where the dry cleaner is and so forth. So my suggestion would be if they had to use that we put no parking allowed in that area. Right now, people park there, which gives you only one lane to go through instead of 2.
Sure.
So if we did that, I think it would be workable. But before that, it would mean people who wanted to go towards Bethany would have to turn right and go down and go through a parking lot or make a U-turn. So, but I think the concept is workable.
Would it be possible to slide the island further toward the east to avoid that issue? Is it?
Not really, because then you interfere with the exit coming out of the lot on the other side.
Oh.
I've looked at this any number of times, and I think what they've come up with is workable. It's just that it's going to be an education process for people. like Cliff said, we'll have to put signs up to say no left-hand turn. And
And-
that
and you
solves the
do-
problem.
Bless you, and you do have two different exits. You have the treetop exit, then you have the exit closer to the laundromat. So you do have the choice, and
You have a
people
choice. It's
are
just
are
a-
going to
it's
have to
gonna be
make
an
that kind of
education
decision, yes.
process.
Okay.
But like so many things, this isn't, we don't have the luxury of designing from scratch. We're
Yeah.
trying to live with what we have and adjust what we have to make it safer. So,
And I looked at the same thing, Cliff, is there's so many entrances and exits there, and trying to find a spot to put something is difficult at best. So I think they've done a fairly decent job. I guess the question, these islands, do we have any concept about how tall they're going to be or what they're going to look like? You know, how do I say this? Somebody's going to come out and stand there waiting to get across. There's got to be some protection other than just a raised sidewalk.
It's a raised platform.
It's a raised
So you see the piano keys, it's a raised platform. They're all built to the municipal code that DelDOT uses for all construction. It's nationally
Yeah.
accepted, so.
Okay, thank you.
Jerry, I'm sorry, could you clarify for me where you wanted the no parking that you mentioned?
Right in front of the dry cleaner and so forth, there's a very narrow section of road.
So
In the
on the
parking lot.
plan, do you have the plan in front of you, Mark?
I'm looking over
It
it.
says shopping center.
It's right here.
So at
Oh,
where the
so
bump out-
inside that lot where people
Right,
park
inside.
along the curb is what you're
Right,
talking
you'd
about?
have to say that there's
Yep.
no parking allowed there, so that
Great.
there's two lanes,
Yep.
so people coming in each direction.
No, I understand.
And if you did that, I think it makes it workable.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people park to the right of that.
Yeah, myself
A lot
included.
of people park over there.
This is, as a private lot, do we have the authority to say that? Can we do, it's a private lot, not our, right?
I think we ask,
I mean, we don't have the, we can't mandate that.
do we?
No, we can't mandate
We
that.
can mandate it?
We can't mandate
Yeah,
that.
that's what I thought, so.
Well,
But it has the ability for two cars to go through there. It's not a singular lane, right?
Yes.
I mean, I've done it before,
Yeah.
often, so.
Yeah, this whole area is very busy.
When,
area.
yes, in the evening, it's very, very busy.
A lot going on. I mean, I know down at the, and I think it's great that we're putting something in front of the diner, because
Right.
there is so much pedestrian traffic that just goes right across there now.
People park at Grotto and go back and forth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I assume they got some sort of agreement with them,
I-
because they park over there all the time.
Right.
So,
And then you have the Wawa entrance too. You can't move this island by Off the Hook too far east.
right,
Yeah.
because then you run into Wawa X,
Wawa,
right.
and those people need a place to cross too.
Yeah.
Because they just jaywalk over to the villas.
The traffic engineer that designed this has spent a good bit of time in Bethany and a good bit of time on Route 26, especially when we were looking for alternatives and trying to negotiate with affected property owners the first island. So I think he's very familiar with it. So, and you all know that area. I mean, it's,
Right.
It's busy,
It was
Yeah.
busy
and the
Saturday.
parking lots are busy, so.
and the parking lots are busy.
Aren't you gonna, I mean, when you're coming out of that other shopping center, next to Wawa, you're not gonna be able to turn left coming out, right?
No, you'll have to go down
You
to
could go
the,
You're gonna have
down,
to,
you could
so you're gonna have, you're gonna have the issue on both sides.
No, you could come down here for that.
Oh, you are, yeah, okay.
Yes.
That's right.
Right,
So you-
just out of that.
you have the alternative.
Okay, right,
Yeah.
okay.
In every instance, there's an alternative.
There's an alternative.
It's just going to force cars to move within the parking lots to get to
Right.
the way they want it.
Right.
Okay. that's
And then
right.
further away from the pedestrian crossings.
And just to clarify, we talked about this before, Cliff, we're losing all four of those current crosswalks that are
Yes,
there. on-
as I mentioned, you'll see the X's on the diagram, and the X means that those piano keys are going to be blacked out.
So all four, okay. And again, that's a safety issue as well.
Yes.
Avoid it. Okay.
you're talking down by.
By Fountain Boulevard and Treetop.
Not all four of them, just the north-south.
Okay.
Just-
Yeah, here,
I thought
here,
these two here.
Here, and
also.
here. Right.
The north-south ones, not the
North-south.
Oh, yes, yeah, I'm sorry, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, any more discussion? Thoughts, questions? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. That, I believe, is everything we have to cover today.
It is today, Mayor.
And I make a call for a motion for adjournment.
She,
Oh,
you got a
excuse
comment.
me. Yes, please, up here, Janie.
Good morning. Janie Switzer, 318 Wellington. The bicycle connection is moving, and I'm wondering if there would be a way to encourage those businesses like the diner and the car shop to open up the back of their parking lots so that when you're exiting, you don't always have to exit onto 26, that you might exit around the back and exit onto Collins at where the bike connection is now.
The backs of those buildings are, I mean, the alleys are very small. There's dumpsters there, and we've not ever had, there's one property owner that owns the complex from Half Moon, I think, past to the Wawa lot. And but in the past, we've not been able to have any sort of consideration for something like that, or even a cut-through at the auto repair shop has been suggested, but no one is interested in doing that.
Okay. All right. Separate question. So as I look at these documents, I don't see an engineer stamp. Could these plans somehow be changed by, I don't know, the engineer, even though you've approved the work? I'm just thinking, why don't they have an engineer stamp?
I'm not sure what the process is for the Delaware Department of Transportation. This is their document and their contract. I don't know if they don't have to require that, if it's an internal document or not, I'm not sure.
Okay. All right, I have one more question. The piano keys, as you say, and you're putting those on across the Garfield extension. That's right.
Yes.
That's great. Just throwing this out about the sidewalk on Kent between Collins and 26. And we know people generally head east on Collins, turn right, and go left on Wellington. But if there was a sidewalk between Collins and 26, if you're heading this way, it might also encourage some people to not have to walk in the grass or walk on that walkway, because Kent is very busy. People go fast, except when the police are there, and they still go fast. But I've mentioned it to you in the past, and I just wanted to throw it out again, that a sidewalk on Kent between Collins and 26 might be something to consider in the future.
I believe in the past, when we've looked at that, there's issues with the amount of right-of-way that actually exists there because of the proximity of some of those homes to the street itself.
Okay, just wanted it on the record. Thanks.
And there is a biking,
There's a bike path.
Yes.
you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, I realize it's not back, but it's right on the road.
But I don't think there's enough room to put
Yeah.
an
I know-
ADA compliant along with the bike
Yeah.
path there.
I know what you're saying. Okay. Thank you, Janie.
Thank you.
Okay, do we have a motion to adjourn? Any other comments? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
A second? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Thank you for coming out today.
Sean's
Oh.
home.